everybody, welcome back to another video, and in today's video we are going to be doing another update to Washington Reagan National Airport. Nothing new has really been added or changed to Reagan in real life. No new airlines, no new routes, so this is going to be a fairly basic update today. We never really get any new airline news at Washington Reagan. It's a very straightforward airport. We just have a handful of airlines that operate pretty much the same routes. The next nearest airport to Washington Reagan will probably be New York LaGuardia, as they both have their limitations to how far aircraft can fly from the airport, so they're very similar in that aspect. And so we can kind of look at LaGuardia as essentially a busier Reagan. I say busier because they have more routes from LaGuardia, and the only airline that operates into LaGuardia that don't operate into Reagan are Spirit. So perhaps maybe in the future we could see Spirit start at Reagan as well. Air Canada mainline fly into LaGuardia, whereas only Express fly into Reagan. So little things like that may change in the future, but for now we don't have any news on the horizon. But starting off in the American Eagle section of today's updates, we have this American Eagle CRJ-700. This aircraft has arrived in from Jacksonville in Florida and it's going to be heading out to Dayton in Ohio. Next up here we have this American Eagle Embraer E175. This aircraft has arrived in from Providence in Rhode Island and it's going to be heading out to Philadelphia in Pennsylvania. We then have the second American Eagle CRJ-700 here. This aircraft has arrived in from Milwaukee in Wisconsin and it's going to be heading out to Windsor Locks in Connecticut today. Next here we have this American Eagle ERJ-145, and the 145s don't really fly that much into Washington Reagan. We primarily just get the CRJs, the 900s, the 700s, and of course the E-Jets into Washington Reagan. However, as we are lacking in American Eagle aircraft at the moment, I decided to add this E145 into this update. Hopefully with the recent release of the Delta CRJ 900, hopefully soon we will also get a release of the American CRJ 900. I think once we get that, I can essentially rule out the CRJ 200 and the E145s from Reagan updates and finally have realistic aircraft. But for now we have this ERJ 145. This aircraft has arrived in from Portland in Maine and is going to be heading out to Burlington in Wisconsin. After that we have another American Eagle Embraer E175. It's arrived in from Wichita in Kansas and is going to be heading out to Indianapolis in Indiana. And then last but not least here for American Eagle, here we have this American Eagle retro livery Embraer E170. This aircraft has arrived in from Atlanta in Georgia and is now heading out to Madison in Wisconsin. Moving over to the main lines now, here we have the largest American aircraft we currently get into Reagan. We have the American Airbus A321neo. This aircraft has arrived in from Phoenix in Arizona and is going to be heading out to Los Angeles in California. Next here we have this American Boeing 737-800. This aircraft has arrived in from Dallas Fort Worth in Texas and is going to be heading out to Charlotte in North Carolina. And last but not least for American, here we have the American Boeing 737 MAX 8. This aircraft has arrived in from Miami in Florida and is going to be heading out to Orlando in Florida. Next over here with Alaska, we have quite a few Alaska aircraft here today. So starting off here we have this Alaska More to Love livery Boeing 737-900ER. This aircraft is going to be heading out to Los Angeles in California. Next up we have this Alaska Boeing 737-900ER in the regular color scheme this time. This aircraft is going to be heading out to San Francisco in California. And last but not least here we have this Alaska Boeing 737-800. This aircraft is going to be heading out to Seattle in Washington. Next over here with Delta, here we have this Delta Airbus A320. This aircraft is going to be heading out to Detroit in Michigan. We then have this Delta Connection Embraer E175. This aircraft is going to be heading out to Boston in Massachusetts. And last but not least for Delta here, we have this Delta Connection CRJ-900, the brand new Delta CRJ-900. This is the first update we have with this Delta CRJ-900, and this aircraft is going to be heading out to Cincinnati in Ohio. Then moving over to United now, here we have this United Boeing 737 MAX 8. This aircraft is going to be heading out to San Francisco in California. We then have this United CRJ-550. This aircraft is going to be heading out to Newark in New Jersey. And then finally here for United, we have this United Airbus A320. This aircraft is going to be heading out to Houston Intercontinental in Texas. Next over here at the low-cost terminal, here we have have this Southwest Airlines Boeing 737-700. This aircraft is going to be heading out to Chicago Midway in Illinois. Next up here we have this Frontier Airbus A320neo. This aircraft is going to be heading out to Denver in Colorado. Denver is still Frontier's only destination out of Reagan, but when we look over at LaGuardia, using that comparison, Frontier have many more destinations that they fly to from LaGuardia. They fly to Atlanta, Charlotte, Cincinnati, Cleveland, Denver, of course, Dallas, Miami, Orlando, and Raleigh. So it'd be cool to see Frontier start to any of those or any other destinations as well from Washington Reagan. But then last but not least, for today's updates, we have another Southwest Boeing 737-700, and this one is going to be heading out to Dallas Love Field in Texas. And with that, I want to thank you very much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed, and with that, yeah, that's pretty much it. So I will see you in the next one. Bye.